Several months ago, I went through a really difficult time with my self-image. I would get home from school every day, look in the mirror, and find anything and everything that was wrong with me. A single red spot would ruin my next week. A stray hair would make my skin crawl. I couldn't find anything to be thankful for, and the only thing that was on my mind was the way that I looked. I would constantly check myself in the mirror for something to criticize. But a couple months ago, I realized something that I think is really important to share with others. No matter what size, shape, color, skin type, style, gender, or preference, you are amazing and deserve the best.
Many people judge others for thinking they are pretty and call themselves absorbed.
To an extent, that stereotype can be true. God didn't intend us to only love ourselves, but He didn't want us to tear ourselves down either.
He wanted us to treat people with respect, including us, ourselves.
We're just going to jump right in and tell you our experiences.
The first step Emily and I took in self-love was realizing what is keeping us from it. We realized that social media influenced us and has tore us down.
Social media is a huge part of normal teenage life. Snapchat, Instagram, and Musical.ly are just a couple of the apps on which so many people have accounts on.
All over all these sites, we see people with millions of followers, thousands of likes, and hundreds of comments complimenting the user on how gorgeous they are, how amazing the place they are is, and sometimes how much they worship the user.
This has become a huge part of society. These people actually have a name for their occupation: social media stars. They become famous off of almost nothing, yet people praise them for everything they do.
According to Bloomberg, there are 150 million people using Snapchat every day and 800 million Instagram users.
I would say out of those 800 million, there are really only about 100 or so that are Instagram famous.
Sometimes when I'm at home, I scroll through my Instagram feed or go through my Snapchat stories and see these people in their perfect lighting, perfect hair, perfect outfit, perfect makeup, and wish to myself, I wish I looked like them, or I wish I had as many followers as them.
I look in the mirror and think, why am I not as skinny as her, and why can't I do my eyeshadow like that?
Throughout my teenage life, social media has caused me some hardships and good experiences. I've had to deal with people making comments about a picture I posted, spreading things online about me, and talking about how many likes I got on a picture. This brought me down to a dark place that did not make me feel good about myself. I remember one night I was scrolling through Instagram and read through this post. I realized it was saying lies about me. When I read this post, I was just disappointed a person would write something about someone online. I realized that I need to focus on myself and not what others say about me. People find endless ways why they are not like the people online.
What we realize is that most of the time, those pictures aren't even real.
So much editing goes into each and every single picture they post.
In real life, those people probably look just like you and me.
Another huge part of social media is self-care profiles.
These are profiles that claim to help teenagers with hygiene and self-image.
But they really tell you how to lose weight and why your skin isn't clear.
Not only is this sending the wrong message, but it's also telling teenagers how they should look and what to do to possibly achieve it.
These pages don't work for everyone. They are skewed and one-sided.
Some time ago, I became obsessed with these pages. I would scroll through hundreds of them in just one day to see what I was doing right and what I was doing wrong. I would try countless recipes for the perfect skin and for the perfect body. None of these worked, however, and a lot of them just ended up making things worse. One of the methods I tried was putting toothpaste on my skin to try to get rid of acne and scars. I kept coming up with negative results and even ended up burning my skin.
These people are probably not professional dermatologists or nutritionists.
Even if they were, you shouldn't feel like you need to change yourself in order to feel loved.
You should feel good about yourself no matter what.
Real friends and family will love you for who you are, not how you look.
Real friends and family won't tear you down and judge you for the way you look.
But the thing is that it's sometimes hard to tell what's real and what's not.
People say things without realizing it hurts. I remember this time when one of my friends came up to me and told me one of my old friends was saying about how I looked to some of my other friends. I have to admit, I wanted to go sit in a corner and cry, but I knew crying wasn't going to change anything. I didn't need everyone to think I'm pretty. I just wanted people to know that I treat people equally and kind.
I can totally relate to that. I've had so many experiences with others not meaning to hurt me, but end up tearing me down a lot. Even some of my own family members have done it. A couple months ago, I got a text from my grandma about a possibility. She texted me, word for word, saying, "Keep growing. Jessica," who's my aunt, has been talking to Stephanie, who's her friend. And Stephanie said that if you grow a couple more inches, she would definitely be interested in you for modeling. Now, Stephanie works for Ford Modeling, which, if you didn't know, is one of the largest modeling companies in the world. My first response, naturally, was to find more ways to grow taller. I mean, who doesn't want to be a model, right? But soon I realized that her text was getting to me. I was doing things I never would have done if it weren't for the message. I started drinking huge amounts of milk, and I would research every day just to find more of the requirements about being a model. It was the only thing on my mind, and it started interfering a lot with my normal life. I would spend hours and hours on end researching modeling careers rather than doing my actual homework. I would skip hanging out with friends just to get a workout in. Sometimes I would even break down in tears over a small thing like just one zip because I thought I couldn't model. I don't know how, and I don't really know when, but somewhere in between one of my outbursts, I realized that I shouldn't feel like I need to change myself for others, and I didn't have to. My grandma didn't mean to hurt me with her text, but she ended up crushing me. I think when I finally started realizing that the way I looked didn't define me was when I started volunteering. My family and I started going to the Freedom House about a year ago, which is a local homeless shelter. Now you're probably wondering, didn't this stuff all happen like months ago? Well, yeah, it did. But I didn't really start applying myself to my volunteer work until like months ago either. I really had to reflect about the kids that I served there. I realized that the world doesn't revolve around me. Most people probably aren't noticing your pimples or your stray hairs. They're really noticing your great laugh or your amazing sense of humor.
Or how kind you are.
They don't really care if you have acne, how many likes you get, or even if you're a model.
People should care if you're a good friend or have good values, not how you look.
Not everyone will love you, but you. Yes, you. Certainly can.
The real ones will love you for who you are.
Self-love starts with you, not others.
You don't need their approval.
So like yourself, love yourself. Heck, hype yourself up too.
Compliment yourself, look in the mirror, and say, "You're looking cute today," or "That shirt looks really good on you."
Whatever you do, remember that you're amazing and deserve the best.
You're amazing, and you deserve to think so.